I'm very proud to be a part of this exciting collaborative project that brings together students from New College who have an interest in the heritage and our future of Florida and our communities, as well as people from the local community who have lived here and experienced things that are fascinating.
We're hosting an event where students who have interviewed people from the community who have an interesting life history here are telling their stories in a very short and concise way.
All the amazing stories he'd been hearing about water resources in the area and how they changed over time, and was wondering about how we could capture those stories, how we could get some information that goes beyond some of the scientific data that we have about it.
Oral history is important for every community because it makes history accessible and it makes it local and it brings real people into it. So rather than just like focusing on documents or dates and, you know, old guys' names, you're learning living history and you're kind of really capturing lived experiences that are then told to other people and can be kind of passed down through these projects to earlier generations.
Well, I'm Sheila Cassandra Hammond Atkins. I was born here in, Manatee County. I was born at Manatee Memorial Hospital in 1952.
I chose Sheila Atkins, and I'd actually gone to an event where her husband was speaking, and her husband was a really great speaker, and he had a lot of interesting things to say, and so I saw her name on the list, and I was like, I bet she has some interesting stuff to say as well, and I was right, and yeah.
And we lived off of Church Street in a duplex. We stayed there maybe for a few years, and then we moved into the public housing.
You know, we've seen changes, but we still have some way to go, although there's been a lot of improvement in everything. But I think it's important that we tell our history from different perspectives.
You know, growing up, we, played games as a family, watched TV, we had a good foundation.
Anytime I do a project like this, I just love learning about new people and the differences that all their stories have, but also the similarities. So like I do a lot of oral history and just like finding those similar threads that are kind of found in every story.
I didn't look at it like that until, when desegregation, I looked at it a little more. I think my class, we were over 200 and something students in our class.
Well, a lot of things. Well, Kaylee, who interviewed me, she was, kind of shocked, and she said, hey, that was not fair. And, I think her hearing my story and probably other stories, it was an eye-opening for her, being a young lady, who did not come up that, was raised that way. So I think it was a great experience for both of us. Me telling the story, having to think back, but also for her hearing and whatever she wanted to know, if I could be helped in answering those questions for her.
They were doing away with all the black schools.
We started the project together several years ago, and the reason is that I started to see, and my colleagues started to see, that there were these fantastic stories of people who had lived here most of their lives or lived here a long time. And because Sarasota has so many people that are from somewhere else, like me, that they just didn't know. And it was hard to even find someone who could tell you the way it was even 30 or 40 years ago.
People had a sense of community, but people just seemed so much together.
I mean, I think just learning lots of stuff. I'm not originally from Sarasota, I'm here for school, and so I don't know a ton about Sarasota history, and so through doing this project now 2 years in a row, I feel like I've gotten to learn more about the place that I call home right now, which is really interesting.
I'm not from here, so it's been an eye-opening experience for me. I almost feel like I know more about this place than I do my hometown, but all the same, because I love Sarasota.